know if who's here.
We don't know who's here, but we can see that there are two people here, and they can see us now. We're live.
Who are they?
We don't know. They're two of our 14 people who have signed up to be here.
Can we ask them to sign in under questions?
We can certainly ask, and we now are.
Whoever you are, could you tell us who's here?
And you can do that by pressing the Q&A button. You should see a Q&A button, I think, at the top right corner of your screen. If you type a question for us, then we'll see the question. Right now we can see the two people are watching, but we don't know who you are. Maybe you're not.
Could they be us?
One of them could be us. But there's at least one person who's not us.
Right. Okay. And we'll start in a few minutes. So this is a one-way Google Hangout.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been involved with others that have two, so you see like 7 or 8 people across the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's 4. Let's get into 402. Oh, we have no viewers. They left.
We bored them.
Well, now we know it's not us.
It's true.
Right.
There were 2 people there.
Right. That's how we know.
All right.
Remy Rubin, I see that you're online. Just want you to know that. And if you go to the Q&A tag on top, you can push it and say hello, ask questions, or whatever.
We now have 3 viewers. Maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Okay. 401. Let's give it. Viewers, we're going to take 1 more minute. Well, that's 402. We're going to start. There are 4 of you. See, they're coming in, so we should give them a second. And we'll proceed expeditiously.
All right. I'd say talk amongst yourselves, but you're not all in the room.
All right. Okay, so we lost 1 out of 3. Good. So here, what we're doing today is we're going to be looking at the Jewish Survey Question Bank, and I'm Stephen Cohen, and to my right is Seth Chalma. Seth and I have built this thing, and I just see that Cindy is there. So it's Cindy and Ramy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Ramy. And another person just came on as well. So what we'll do is we'll go through this survey question bank. Basically, what the survey question bank is all about is to help you design surveys. Either you're the person who's actually constructing the survey, or you're a person who's going to be asking for someone else to do a survey, and you want to get an idea of the types of questions that can be asked and that have been asked in other circumstances. So what we're going to do is we'll show you, we'll go through the site that we've constructed, and you'll see, I hope, how useful it is, but also be ready to ask us questions about your own interests, either now or afterwards, by following through with emails to either Seth or myself, and let us know things that you think might be improved. So with that in mind, let's go take a look at the Berman Jewish Survey screen, and here we go. What you see in front of you is a screen with lots of tabs. The first one's home, which is where we are. Let's go through each one of these step by step. First, we have questions. You can look for survey questions by topic. I'll show you that in a second. Or through an advanced search where you can actually specify more information about the questions that you desire. Let's look at topic. And there you'll see that we have taken these was it, how many thousand questions do we have? 100.
Over 20,000 questions.
20, we have 20,000 questions, over 100 surveys.
Yeah,
Right.
about 170 some.
Right, 170 surveys. And here you see a variety of topics, and all of which deal with the issues that we normally pay a lot of attention to. I know that Ramies has been constructing the Jewish scorecard, and let's see. Ramies is interested in Jewish programming. I don't know if we have a programming.
I believe we have a topic called program status.
Really? Okay, let's take a look at that. Program status. There you go, Seth. Thank you. Program evaluation. That's even bigger. Let's just try that one. We have 1,037 questions in program evaluation, and these questions are listed to the extent that they appear in the number of appearances. So here, for example, are a bunch of questions about BBYO, and they're different questions because they slightly differ. Here's the BBYO question. Do you feel your involvement in BBYO during high school has meaningful, increased, or improved yourself, and so on? Appreciation of how living Jewishly can, I'm sure, be meaningful. Let's take a look at that. We can. I clicked on that, and we see the surveys in which they appear. I can click on this. Click on usage. And we see a screen which tells us all about this question. We have the full question text. We have the details of the survey in which it was asked. It was conducted by two friends of mine, Sid Groneman and Jim Gerstein, on behalf of the Charles Lynn Schisterman Foundation. And it's a survey that dealt with such issues as youth engagement, young adults, so forth, and so on in the United States. And if we wanted to see the actual survey itself, we could click on the survey. If we want to see the report that was written that's built around this question, we can look at that. We can see, are there other surveys with this question? No, I think there's just that one, and we have lots that we can do. If, on the other hand, this question isn't what we want, and we wanted something on I'm doing that with youth trips to Israel. So we have trips Israel. We can hit search, and that creates 36 questions. And here we see several questions about youth trips to Israel. We can take this one, expand. And we see that this is a question that was asked in the Twin Cities population study of 2004. I happen to know it was conducted by Ira Sheskin. If I didn't know that, I can click and find out more information about the study. Again, I can see the survey details. I can see the questionnaire, the main report, and other surveys with this question. I believe it's the only one, so forth and so on. So this is an example of how we can look for questions through topic. We've kind of done advanced search, but I'll show the advanced search window. We can search all fields for questions on, let's say, keeping kosher. We can filter. We can specify the years. We want to do it only after 2005. Well, let's leave it at that. Let's see what we get with the word kosher in it after 2005. And there we go. We have 56 questions that were asked on surveys since 2005. The very first one, do you keep kosher? Seems to be the most popular. It's ordered in terms of popularity from 23 down to 7, down to 4, down to 2. We can expand this, and we can see that this question was asked in 2 studies, in the BBYO Impact Study, the Jewish Community Study of Greater Milwaukee. Do you turn lights on and off on Shabbat? Is another example that uses the word kosher at some point. And there, that question appears in a number of studies. Let's see. I think again these are mostly Irish Eskins, Jewish population studies. To keep a kosher home is a different way of asking the question. Oh, yeah, that's the one. I know I like that question because that appeared in the Jewish Community Study of New York, 2012, as well as other places, 2011, 2012, and there we go again. Let's just take a look at the questionnaire because I know it's kind of a rich questionnaire.
We won't be able to see that on our screen sharing because that
downloaded. Okay. If I hit the PDF, would it come up and they see it, or they wouldn't?
We'd have to press screen sharing for that separate application, but
okay.
We can if you want.
But you folks know what a questionnaire looks like. So we're gonna go back, and I just want to make sure that you're not asking me a question. No, that's not from you.
Well, if we want to take a look.
Oh, there's Cindy. There's Rami, and now there's Renee Rubin. Okay, Ross. Hi, it's Renee. I can see you. Good. Hi, Renee. We can see you too. No, we can't. We only see your picture. So let's go and take a look at more of what the JSQB can do. We've done questions. We've browsed by topic. We've done some advanced searching, and you'll see there's a lot of possibilities. We can go to surveys, and then for surveys, we can look at surveys in a variety of ways. We can look at surveys by topic, and here are a variety of topics. I'm going through them quickly. Obviously, demography is a major topic. But gee, I didn't know that there was a survey on diaspora relations. I'm very curious about that. It happens to be an interest of mine. I have really no idea what we're going to find out. Let's take a look. The LA Times poll from 1998. This was actually a very famous survey for its day. I'm so glad that we have this. Details page. This was conducted by Roper on behalf of Yediot Achronot. We can get the entire questionnaire. If we hit survey questions, what do we see?
We're going to see all the questions in that survey. Go ahead.
So we don't actually need to download the whole questionnaire. We can see this. Gender. All kinds of questions about Israel. I'm scrolling through them. And I'm sure these questions were asked only in one survey. This looks like it's a question of Israelis. Yeah. Gee, I'd love to do the study one more time. It's time to do the study again. Okay. So that's an example of the use of surveys browsed by topic. We can browse by publisher. Wonder if the Jim Joseph Foundation appears here. Does it?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
It may be under sponsor.
Sponsor. Let's go. Let's look for sponsor. Survey.
It looks like we don't have a tab to browse by sponsor, but if you search surveys for Jim Joseph.
Let's take a look. So we can. Sorry, we have to click on surveys. Jim. Renee, we're not just doing this for you. We're just really curious. Jim Joseph. Next we'll do Pittsburgh and Minneapolis. Keep everybody happy.
There we have it.
Ah, there we go. Oh, the Immersive Jewish Service Learning Report, CO transitioning. Fantastic. There you go. Let's look at Jewish Service Learning educators. We can expand. There were 121 people in the sample. There are 123 questions. We can look at details. We can look at the survey questions. And this gives us the entire questionnaire. We can scroll through it. We can get an idea of what they did. We can say, that's enough. Well, let's leave that. Let's do some more searching for surveys. Oops. Browse by investigator. And that has names of people who are researchers from a variety of backgrounds, and the number of surveys that they completed. And finally, we have tree graph coverage, advanced search. We're going to go on. We have advanced search. Again, there's another way of getting to the advanced search window, either for questions or surveys, and BJPA, the data bank itself. So let's go back to questions, browse by topic, and let's take a look and see if any of you have any questions or ideas. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Kaplan and Sherry. Hi, Phoenix. So if you have any questions, please type them in the question window, and we'll happily answer whatever it is that you may have.
And while we're waiting, perhaps for people to ask some more specific questions about maybe challenges that they're facing when building surveys. Maybe another thing you could do, Stephen, is to take a look at a survey you've done, whether from far in the past or from very recently.
Yeah.
Take a look at some of those questions and maybe talk for the benefit of our viewers of what challenges you find when you're designing questions and when you're choosing questions, the issue of duplicating versus innovating.
Right.
And maybe take a look based on one question that you used and look at other questions in that same topic and see what some of the differences are and what you would advise people to do when they're trying to work on building their own surveys.
Right. As a general rule, survey questionnaires, even in areas which we have surveyed many times, go through as much as 12 or 15 drafts, depending on what you call a draft. So on the one hand, we'd like to keep the same questions from one survey to the next, so we have comparability, and that's a big vote in favor of a question. On the other hand, we have such a variegated community and such changes through time that we need to keep creating other questions. So, for example, this is coming from Cheryl. Is that right? Is that coming from?
We have.
Is that coming from Cindy?
This is coming from Cindy.
Hi, so this is Cindy. Cindy asked the question. I think we will say, what are the criteria by which a survey and its questions are entered into the bank? Are you continually adding questions and surveys? The answer is we have not finished. We're continuing to add questions and surveys. The criteria we used up till now is to get a variety of studies starting in the late 90s, 1998 or so,
and we have some from before that as well.
For start.
Our focus is on what's newest, but we have some earlier as well.
And we did give some privilege to people who do lots of research. In part, it turns out that they have a lot of experience, and therefore the questions might be a little bit better than someone who does a question once in a while. So you'll see some of the people whose names you recognize, myself included, but also Len Sachs and Jack Euclides, Irish Eskin, and some others whose surveys appear quite frequently. So we try to do a balance of people who are heavy survey users, survey developers, versus those who are new and innovative. And we also wanted to make sure there were people from outside the usual Jewish social research profession. So a number of people, frankly, who Jim Joseph has been turning to. I think all the questionnaires that were available, we put on the survey. We now have 170 surveys mounted.
More, yeah.
And more coming in every day, and we'll be adding more surveys. If you look at this at the question bank and you see things that are missing, you'd like to see more questions on this or that topic or this or that genre, please let us know. We'll be guided by your judgment. Cindy, I hope I answered that question, and if not, please write me another one, or you write one in any event. So it turns out that the survey question development process is never as simple as it always seems to us before we started. I mean, I've been involved with a number of people working in the same area and doing pretty much what we think is the same mission in each place that is moving from one Jewish community to another. And we are surprised every time when the process is over how many new questions we have to invent. It had been our dream, for example, in doing Jewish population studies, that we would provide communities with 8 or 10 major areas of interest, above and beyond age, sex, and denomination. We'd ask them about, do you care about youth? Do you care about people moving in and out? Do you care about Israel? What is it that you really care about? Fundraising, and they would give us their top 3 or 4 topics, and we would just provide a module of questions that have been asked before. Our attempt to do that has never worked. We've always found that communities